In this episode, I break down how the Devils have played better in the past couple games and how it hopefully can lead to them squeaking into the playoffs. Let's get into it. Hit the intro.
Welcome to Aledius Devils Talk. Here's your host, Enrique Aledius.
The New Jersey Devils got a big win against the Maple Leafs, and they're still in the playoff hunt. You know, and with the Red Wings losing and the Caps losing last night, you know, it definitely puts the Devils back in a really good spot to jump over into the wild card spot if they keep winning. But that's like the most important thing, right? Like they need to keep winning. So lately, the Devils have been on a bit of a good run, especially I think since getting Jake Allen and Kappo Kakanen. They did have, I think, a really tough loss against the Senators, where it really could have cost them a chance to make the playoffs. But you know, they've had a lot of those this year, where I think that LA weekend, which by the way, I was at those games against the Ducks and the Kings, where they really lost an opportunity there to get points, where if they had won both of those games against teams that I think they definitely should have beat. I mean, that Ducks game, they completely should have won that game. I mean, you look at those losses, and if they won those, then they're probably where Washington is right now in terms of standings. But with all that being said, all that matters is where we're at right now. And I think one of the biggest changes that we're starting to see, and I hope they end the season strong, regardless if they make the playoffs or not, is I think they're getting back to that pace that they should be at. And of course, the goaltending has been unbelievable. Now, I'm going to admit that when we first got Jake Allen, I was not the biggest fan of that, simply just because I wasn't sure if we were going to use him as a starting goalie, you know, and from watching him with his time with the Blues and with the Canadians, I don't think he was as impressive. But I think I forgot that when he was with the Canadians, like they weren't that great of a team, especially after Price had left. And I'll definitely raise my hand here to say I was completely wrong. Just based on the way he's played, and a lot of it starts with the Devils. I think that one game where he didn't play well, I think the team basically left him out to dry there. And even now, like the team doesn't really help him that much. He makes huge saves, especially that Toronto game where there was like 25 shots in the first period, which was crazy. I think that the defense definitely was lacking a little bit, but he came up huge. Hopefully all this is a good sign that our goaltending will look much, much better next season. Another really good thing that I like seeing is that Timo Meier is really starting to play better. You know, he's getting a lot of his goals in front of the net. He's crashing the net, and he's also a part of generating opportunities and chances that I really think that the way he's skating has been really impressive. And he's starting to become now the player that I think we all expected when we first got him. And of course, him being injured throughout a good part of this year and having to recover from that injury definitely takes its toll and has an effect. Another thing I really like seeing is the way that Nico, he has been playing. I feel like he is generating good chances for other guys, and he had also himself is getting some goals in. I think that's something that when he was out earlier in the year, we saw affected how the team moves and how the team plays. It's because he is such a good playmaker, but also I like seeing him getting goals as well, because he is definitely a smart playmaker and a smart decision maker on the ice. But also, I think him shooting the puck as well can also help us in a big way. If anything, I feel like this team can benefit a lot from shooting the puck a whole lot more. Like, there were so many times this year where I just flat out didn't understand why they would pass the puck when a player had a prime scoring chance in the slot area. So, yeah, having Nico get more shots and generate chances that way is definitely something I'd want to see more of. Speaking of shooting the puck, I really like the way Jack has been playing. I think when we're in that slump, we definitely expected, at least I expected more out of him production-wise, but even then, like there's things that he does that doesn't show in a score sheet, right? If anything, I feel like sometimes he tries to do too much. His hockey IQ is kind of far ahead of other guys on the ice. And like, sometimes I wish he kind of would just shoot the puck more like he has recently, or in these close, tight coverage situations, he would just make the simple play. Instead of trying to sauce the puck between like two defensemen on like a power play or, you know, on an offensive zone attack chance. Like instead of trying to like slice the puck across the circles to his brother or whoever, like just make the easy play and make the pass in across the board to the winger down low or whoever's there, right? I'm just thinking sometimes it's better to just make the easier play. But right now, again, he's been playing really well and using his speed Like we saw that breakaway goal against the Leafs. He's been really good there. I really have liked the way he's played. And it's interesting to see how he's handling the situation and adversity where he's now coming into a season with expectations. And now as a team, they've fallen short of it. So now how do you deal with that? But overall, I've liked the way he's been playing recently. Another player who I've been really, really impressed with over the past couple of months, actually, honestly, this whole season really has been Luke Hughes. I mean, when you look at the defensive core and how we don't have Dougie, don't have Siegenthaler, and we're stuck with trusting this really young D-core. It's insane how much Luke has played and played at a high level in important minutes for this team. I think that this whole season really is such an anomaly on our defensive end where we're putting Shimon Nemec and Luke Hughes out there for so many minutes. And they're barely 21 years old or something. And that's definitely unheard of in terms of the rest of the league playing their starting defenseman or the top defenseman, and they're so young. So it's been a tough year for us injury wise, but I think Luke Hughes has stepped up so much, and I've been really, really impressed with the way he plays now. Of course, he'll make some mistakes here and there. He'll give up the puck or he'll get checked in the board and cough up the puck sometimes. But I think over time, it's just going to be experience and he's going to learn and he's going to get so much better, even better than he is now. But he's really good right now. I really, really like the way that he plays and the way that he's helped the team out on the defensive side. I really like how he skates so well with the puck. Kind of reminds me of that Scott Niedermayer-esque type of style and role that he fills defensively. And again, he's so young. To see the type of role he is playing and the skill that he has, especially on the power play, he is trusted with being the guy who takes the point shots since Dougie is out. And he's trusted with matching up with other teams' best guys. He's been playing unbelievable. And I'm really excited for how much better he'll be in years to come. He's definitely been trusted with a lot of important minutes and games. So to see him do as well as he has for being put in a tough spot, it's exciting to think about how much better he'll be down the road. Another player who I felt has played well since coming in is Nick DeSimone, especially now that they're dealing with a bunch of injuries. He's been pretty solid and effective. He's managed to be, I think, a +1 or better in 4 of the games he's played, which is pretty cool for a rookie defenseman. He's definitely brought some stability to the team, which is, super important. He's also got this good size and isn't shy about getting physical on the ice, which the Devils can definitely use. And his decision-making, it's been getting noticeably better the more he plays, especially during those crucial moments in a game. It's like he and the rest of the young Devils defensemen, well, except maybe Luke Hughes, really need to keep working on their hockey IQ. That's key for going up against the more skilled veteran players they face. With a bit more experience under his belt, the potential's there for him, I feel like, to do some great things. So for now, the Devils are still in the playoff hunt. But, man, it's going to take a bit of a miracle for them to make it just because they're relying on a couple of teams to go on a losing streak in the last 10 to 12 games or so. And the Devils themselves have to basically be perfect in the remainder of the season. We'll see how that goes. But either way, I just hope they finish off the season on a strong note here and then just put this season behind them and move on. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Aledius Devils Talk. I've been your host, Enrique Aledius. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more Devils content. Leave any comments below on how you think the rest of the Devils season is going to go. Thanks for listening. Catch you guys later.